Oh!
Hey friends, welcome to this week's episode of The Forgotten City. I know we haven't played this game, and I know some of you guys are here expecting Hatafel Boyfriend the next episode, but JoJo and I need to connect in order to do that, and we haven't had a chance yet. So I'm going to show you guys one of my new favorite games. I purchased The Forgotten City after talking about it on one of our episodes where we did the best games of the year kind of thing, and I was really surprised because I'd never heard of it. Opened it up, fell head over heels in love. In all honesty, I've already played this. I have gotten 3 of the 4 endings. The hardest ending I haven't gotten yet. It's actually the canon ending. So what I'm going to do with you guys is I'm going to introduce you to the game, and I'm going to show you 2 of the 4 endings. Actually, all of the endings. We're going to start with 2, I think, today, and then maybe the 3rd one will be the next episode, and then the 4th one is going to be harder because I think there's a lot more steps you need to do to get it, and I don't know how to do it. So we're going to do that one together, and I'm going to have a genuine reaction to that one. Now, there's going to be a warning on the screen in just a second, so I'm going to say it now. All of these episodes are major spoilers. This game is incredible. This game went a whole bunch of directions I didn't expect, and if you learn how to solve the puzzles with me watching this, you're not going to be able to enjoy the discovery on your own. So I would highly, highly recommend going and purchasing this game for its full price. It's absolutely worth it. And then shout out to the developers, because 3 of them over 4 years made this game by themselves, and I am super impressed. So if you have any interest in playing this game, please don't watch this video. Go play it for yourself and then come back and you can relive your experience with me, because it's absolutely worth playing and discovering on your own. Seriously, I mean it. Now, if you've already played it, or you're never going to play this game and you just want to watch me play something, come along with me, because it's a very good game. I'm going to hit new game. Oh no! I've used all of my names. Okay, I'll have to come up with a new name. We're gonna go with Gecko on this one. Yeah, 3 people, 4 years. Absolutely love it. You should totally go buy this game. Full price. They deserve it. And this is important. Thoughtful conversation is more valuable than brute force, and we're gonna learn that lesson very quickly, so get excited. Love this game. Love this game. Hello.
Hey, you're alive. When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, a phone, maybe. I hope you don't mind. But all I found was some loose change.
You're gonna give that back?
Wanna tell me who you are?
Yes. Now, I don't like this. If you look at the body type, that's supposed to be a guy, I think. And that's supposed to be a chick. We'll go with it, but... oh yeah, we're doing the pastiest of pasties. And let's see. Going with this.
Well, it's nice to meet you. And I'm sorry to pry, but... any idea why you were floating down the river? What's the last thing you remember?
So, depending on your answer is actually going to change some of your stats in the game. So, searching for ancient ruins, because, hint spoiler, there's going to be some ancient related stuff, if you don't already know. This is going to give you a little bit of insight into that world and maybe help you out a little bit. Covert mission is going to give you a military-issued firearm, but you have a limited number of bullets. On the run from the law, it's going to make you faster when you're sprinting, and I barely remember anything is going to make you harder to take down. Now, since I've already played this a little bit, I know that eventually the game will teach me everything I need to know, I think. I get a weapon in the game eventually. We will learn what that means and how. And sprinting is extremely valuable, but I don't know that I needed to sprint after anyone necessarily, but I do know making it harder to take me down is incredibly valuable, so we are going with this one.
It does look like you took a pretty hard blow to the head. You're just lucky you've been given a second chance.
Yeah.
Which is why I feel terrible for what I'm about to say, but I have a favor to ask. There are some ruins just behind you. Roman, I think. I need you to go in there and see if you can find a guy named Al for me. He went in there a few hours ago, and he hasn't come out. I've been freaking out, wondering if he's trapped or injured or worse.
Worse.
I would have gone
Definitely
in
worse.
after him, but he made me promise to stay here, no matter what. There's no way I'm leaving without him. So I'm just kind of stuck here, waiting. What I mean is, I was hoping you wouldn't mind going in there to find him.
You got a big old damsel in distress here.
If you can do that, I can get both of you back to civilization in my boat. Please?
Okay, so she'll help us if we help her. I've been hit on the head and I'm floating downriver and you searched my pocket for loose change. Let's get to know each other before I commit to going and, possibly getting ambushed by Al.
Oh,
might have asked some questions.
Sorry, I don't mean to be pushy. What do you want to know?
We're gonna learn all the things. So, who are you?
Oh, there's not much to tell. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Know what I mean?
You're not even gonna tell me your name?
I'd rather not say if it's all the same to you.
It's maybe not, because eventually if I run into Al, I might need to tell him, hey, the person you... I'd really like to know.
Alright, fine. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
Oh, I love the developers. Oh my gosh. I can thank her, I can just be like, wow, yeah, that your name is now Pain, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. But right now, I have bigger problems. Like, finding Al?
I like how she's like, really? Joking about memes is not the moment. Like, I'm worried about this dude. So tell me about Al.
He's the guy who washed up on the riverbank not long before you did. I thought maybe you two knew each other. I guess not.
Nope.
But maybe the two of you can piece together what you're doing here. In any case, you'll like him, I'm sure. Once you find him, that is.
So, what's interesting is, I don't have a connection to the Al to the best of my knowledge. And neither really does she. He just washed up and then made her stay there and then left. And now she's like, hey, random person that also washed up, go save him? That part feels a little tenuous, but you know what? We're gonna roll with it. Where the hell are we?
You really don't remember?
Nope.
We're in Italy. This river is the Tiber.
Ooh, Italian. Fun. Never been to Italy. Wanna go?
Not much, really. But imagine what you might find in there. Priceless ancient artifacts.
Al? Have you tried calling for help? We are in the time of cell phones.
What am I, an idiot? You could hike a long, long way in any direction and never find another soul. Trust me.
Okay. So, she's getting a little hostile because we are sitting here taking our time rather than finding Al. Let's go find Al.
Great. So you're ready to go look for Al?
Never! Sure.
Thank you. The entrance is just past those columns behind you. Please, hurry.
I actually don't know what happens if you're sassy to her here.
This here. But I think you'll need it more than I will.
Flashlight. Yep. That's a flashlight. Glad we could examine that. Yeah, let's go ahead and take that item. Oh no. Oh. Oh no. Oh, let's give my computer a second. Okay, I'm not having issues now. Okay, so I think me recording while this is trying to render all this stuff is a little bit much for it. Ah, raise my flashlight. Oh, takes a second. Okay, cool, good. Hey, river! I was just in you! You're wet! Oh, I'm stuck. Oh, good, okay. Yep. Looks like a ruin. Seems ruiny. Aw, look at the moss. Enter the ruins. I'm in 'em. Some kind of frog out here trying to get laid. Some pretty stalactites. I can sprint if I want to. Maybe not the best water physics, but hey, you got 3 people, 4 years, totally reasonable. I cannot possibly do better, so I should probably just say, hey, great game, guys, because it is. Which they know. They got awards on this thing. but it's pretty. Look at this. Actually, I have to take that down. Look at how pretty that is. It's so nice. And we've got this. Now, this is a big old torch on it, which would make me think, hey, a backpack full of worn hiking clothes and empty food packets. Nothing valuable here, but still, it seems strange that Al left it behind. Oh, here we go. I can look at it, but I can't do anything, so we're going to leave it there. Alright, Al's note.
If you're reading this, it means I've discovered the entrance to an ancient Roman city hidden deep underground. Its existence is long forgotten, all knowledge of it lost, except in the Latin inscription here. It reads, "You who wish to enter the city, step forth and be judged. The virtuous shall be rewarded with eternal life in paradise. The wicked shall find themselves showered in gold, but in vain, for this shall be their final resting place." Could an underground city have remained a secret for all this time? Could people have survived down there, against the odds? It seems there's only one way to find out.
Let's go
If
exploring!
I'm not back in an hour, I'm somewhere on the other side. Consider this an invitation.
Ah!
Or a warning.
Alright. Alright, Alworth. We are going to consider that an invitation. Lovely. Oh, I love the ivy. It's so pretty. Oh no! Ah! And I have been cast into water. Oh, I'm drowning. Okay, hang on. Wait a second. I don't think I'm going to make it back up here. Now, the first time I played this, I actually walked around the edge, and so it opened, and I didn't fall in, and I was just like, well, not going to go in now. Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of coins and stuff down here. Huh. People treating it like a wishing well. Alright, so we have fallen into some ancient baths. Yeah. Find the entrance to the city. Did that. What the hell was that? Ah. A Latin plaque, which given its position seems important. If only I could read Latin. Yeah. Graffiti. Translate. Hastily scrawled Latin graffiti. I can't translate it yet. I will eventually be able to do that. Bah! Oh my god. Okay, so yeah. The statues... Look at you. See those two right there? That guy right there and that guy right there? Not looking at us yet. Now he is. As is she. Ooh, we got some Latin-ass whispers in our ear. This is gonna be a fun day, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, okay. Ugh. That is not a comfortable position for your neck, my dude. A young Roman woman in a pose of lamentation. If I look away, does she look at me? Oh, thank God. She does not. Ugh, he does, though. Don't like that. Oh, they stare right at you. See? See? Oh yeah, that one's not going to do it. Okay. Not all of them do it, which I think makes it actually weirder. Yep, she's looking at me, she's looking at me. Oh, don't like any part. The fact that I'm standing up against them and then they move freaks me out. There's just a bunch of them. I wonder who put them all in these. Ah! Yep, and they're looking at me now. Hey, bud. You gonna look at me? Oh, he looks at me. So yeah, someone came through and put them in all these little alcoves. Like, harvested them and moved them, which is... Harvested was not the right word to use, that's super uncomfortable. But the They're all over the place. Ooh, okay. F5 to quick save. That seems like that will be useful. Roman military commander attempting to scramble away. And there's stuff. The stairs are uncomfortable. But the ruins are really cool. Like, look at these guys. Like, super neat. Okay, so we are gonna trot our way down this path. Keeping our eyes out for Al, everybody. We're looking for Al. That is step 1 here. Be creeped out by the statues, find Al. Hi, statue. Roman woman who appears to be praying for help that never came. I, knocked you over, and that fall sound lasted way too long, but that's okay. Whew! I wonder if I can kill myself right here. Can I? I haven't tried that yet. That's a possible ending, I imagine. Aww. They won't let me. That's fine. Yeah. Secret ending. You died well before you should have. What the heck were you doing? And this man has killed himself. Golden statue of an old man wearing modern clothing. This must be Al, but how is that possible? So he killed himself here.
To whoever reads this, I'm sorry you had to find me like this. And worse, that you'll suffer the same fate I did. I've spent a lifetime in this place, going around and around in circles, searching for a way out. The inscription was right. There is no way back. And here there are only 2 options. Death, or that godforsaken doorway into the past. I made the mistake of stepping through it. I wanted to set things right. And I tried. I really tried. Whatever I did, it took me right back to the beginning. Don't make the same mistake. Better to end it all now, and find out what awaits you beyond that portal.
Sorry, Al. I'm gonna go find out what awaits me beyond that portal. I'm doing it. Young Roman woman in a state of panic. Very upsetting. God, this is so neat. This is so cool. I love this idea. I was less chill the first time I walked through here, to be honest, because I was freaked out of my mind. Oh, the ruins are so neat. The Roman man on his knees is begging the gods for mercy. We got some ruins all over the place. And we've got this. A bunch of bones, remains of a human. Whoever it was died a long, long time ago. And there's nowhere else. This is it. This is where everything ends. Like, there's nowhere to go down here. Let's go through this and see what happens. So let's do it! We told Al we would. Seems reasonable. I like the wormhole concept. It's very fun. Objective markers. Good. Okay. Perfect. Step through the doorway into the oops, I stared at the floor. That wasn't helpful. We got some some hint here. That is a pomegranate. If you can think of any Roman or Greek myth relating to pomegranates, hint hint, nudge nudge, that's kind of where I think this is going. To be fair, I think that's related to the actual ending that I haven't done yet. Look at all this. It's no longer in a state of ruins, and the pathway right here is now there when it wasn't before.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
I'm Gecko, and I've come from the future.
No idea what you're talking about. Oh, wait. Are you a bit, you know, Not right in the head?
As though people just offer that
That's all
up.
right, friend. Everyone's welcome here. We sort of lose track of the date down here, but it feels like the beginning of spring to me, so I'd say early March?
What
It's
year?
817 AUC. Sorry, you look confused. 817 years since the founding of Rome. Which part of the Empire are you from, exactly? Hey, not so loud. Just saying that name could land you in trouble here. If you haven't heard, his cultists burned down half of Rome last year.
Sorry, I'll
Horrible
do better.
business. I heard Nero executed some of them, but a lot of people are still angry with them, even down here. So, if you're one of them, keep it to yourself.
Alright,
But
so...
listen, most folks seem a bit confused when they get here, but you seem very lost, and in more ways than one. So, let me make this nice and simple for you. Live by our law here, and we'll all get along just fine.
Okay, so sorry, I didn't read that. Basically, what I said was, okay, I have no idea when the founding of Rome is, because the average person probably doesn't. That was something we learned in 5th grade and then promptly forgot. And so I asked him, oh, hey, like before or after Christ? And that was when he was like, bleh. So, live by our law. Notice he didn't say laws. So I'm gonna ask about, hey, what do you mean your laws?
Not laws, law. There's just one, the golden rule, and the punishment for breaking it's, well,
Steep.
it's kind of horrific. But our magistrate insists we take all newcomers to see him, so I guess I'll let him fill you in. So then, you coming?
Yeah, lead the way. Let's
Follow
go.
me. When I first arrived, I couldn't believe there were people living down here. But, as you can see, we've got a nice little community now.
In typical
Only 23
NPC
of us at the
fashion,
moment,
he walks
if you count
either
the
too
3 who are
slow or
missing.
too fast.
No idea how, since nobody knows a way out. But it's just big and dark enough to get lost in, if you're not careful.
Aren't you going to introduce me to your pretty new friend, Galerius?
Keep it in your loincloth, Aurelia. I'm taking her to see the magistrate.
That pompous old bore won't be magistrate for much longer. Anyone who helps vote him out today drinks at my bar for free tonight.
So I can talk to her now? I'm not going to. I'll go follow him.
Politics. I'd stay clear of it and her, if I were you. She's... it's not my place to say. Down on your right is our farm, where I grow all the food you'll ever want. As long as all you want is leek, cabbage, and wheat.
Oh, lovely.
That one usually gets a chuckle.
Old lady here, warming herself over a
The
fire.
bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone.
Don't mind Livia. She means well. She's just been in a bad place since... Well, you know, I don't know what happened to her. Up here on your right is the chasm. If you've got a weapon, it belongs way down at the bottom. Up on your left is the forum, where you can visit the market or get yourself patched up in Lucretia's clinic in the Shrine of Apollo.
Chasm.
Most of us have
Bad
almost
news.
nothing. Just what we had on us when we arrived, and what we've been able to make and scrounge up since.
Ooh. I just got whispered to. I can
And
finally
this
understand the whisper.
central plateau is where the magistrate and the other patricians live, so don't expect a warm welcome.
Galerius, you're meant to be working the farm, not trudging dirt into the village.
Take it easy, Horatius. I was just taking our new friend here to see the magistrate.
Well, he's
Hi.
asked me to escort the newcomer personally. The farm. Go. Now.
You'd better go with him. But just remember, they're not like you and me. Don't let them use you.
What was that? What did you just say?
I said it'll take some getting used to.
Yeah. I'm watching
Galerius
the
is
farm.
fast.
Greetings, citizen. My name's Horatius. Magistrate Sentius asked me to escort you to him personally. Follow me, please.
What is this about?
I expect the magistrate wants to brief you about the Golden Rule. It shouldn't take too long. He's busy preparing for the election later today.
Okay, yeah, magistrate sounds trustworthy. Let's lead the way.
The only thing you really need to understand right now is the Golden Rule. Let me see if I can explain it this way. When I was serving in the Legion, if there was a mutiny brewing in one cohort, the legate in charge wouldn't waste time finding the bad apples among hundreds. They just divided us into groups of 10, made us draw straws, and whoever drew the short straw had to be executed by the other 9. Didn't matter whether he'd done anything wrong. One of us in 10 would die for the crimes of the collective. We call it decimation. If that seems like rough justice to you, you're in for a rude shock. Because the Golden Row is exactly 10 times worse. The magistrate can explain the rest. Who's up these stairs?
That does sound like horrific justice to me. Alright, fancy digs here, Magistrate. Magistrate Sentius, let's have a chat.
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name?
I'm Gecko.
A curious name to
Indeed.
match a curious accent. But I digress. Now, you're probably wondering why I summoned you, and I'll get to that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? A secret city built deep in the mountains, many hundreds of years ago.
It is beautiful, but I do just want to get out of here, so I'll just acknowledge its beauty and we'll circle back.
More importantly, consider the miraculous community we've built here over the last 7 months. 22 complete strangers brought together by the fates, living and working together in our own little paradise. And in all that time, not a single sin has been committed. No fights, no theft, nothing.
Sin is a loaded word.
Have you ever witnessed something so extraordinary as a city without sin?
Not possible. No.
Nor could I, until I came here. But the reason for this miracle is as simple as it is terrifying. If even one person commits a sin here, every last one of us will die. You see, the builders of this place, whoever they were, left inscriptions warning, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." From what we can gather, breaking the law here will anger the gods and provoke a terrible punishment. Like the curses of Medusa and Midas combined, turning us all to gold. We've come to call it the Golden Rule. It's extraordinary that we've survived as long as we have, and each day I grow more and more afraid that our time in the sun is almost up. And now it seems that day is finally here. All that matters is that somebody in this city is about to break the Golden Rule. Why else would Proserpina send you now? Unless you and I can stop them, our doom is assured. I know that's a lot to take in, and you look like you have questions.
Yeah.
Please, ask away.
What counts as a sin? Step
An
number.
intelligent question. There was a good deal of debate about that in our first weeks here. Does it refer to crimes, or to some other ill-defined wrong? Of course, everyone agrees on the basics. No theft, no assault, and certainly no murder. But beyond that, it was more difficult to reach a consensus. What about lying, insulting someone, blasphemy, trespass, trying to escape, bribery, infidelity, suicide? As magistrate, I had to exercise leadership, and so I made a decision. We must uphold the laws of the Empire to a standard never before seen. And we must honor the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. It is only by offering the gods the proper respect that we may prosper, as Rome has for centuries.
Sure, totally. What's legal isn't always moral, which they point out, and many of your laws and customs are considered barbaric where I'm from. So,
Barbaric? Barbaric? What are you talking about? The Empire is the most civilizing force in the known world. Rome is a beacon of light in the darkness. For 800 years she has borne great statesmen, philosophers, poets, artists, and engineers. We have comprehensive laws protecting the rights of our citizens, which have unified countless warring tribes all across the Mediterranean and beyond, from Gallia to Judea. All our citizens are treated the same, regardless of the color of their skin or their sexual preference. Can you say the same? When our people are starving, they are given food rations, and when they are wronged, they have the right to bring the guilty party before the magistrate. Our laws forbid treason, murder, assault, and rape, as well as theft and arson, and so on. No other civilization in the world is so advanced, and you have the hubris to call us barbaric.
So, he's gonna point out, we've got the opportunity to point out, like, slave ownership, super problematic. Blood sport, super problematic. Women have far fewer rights than men. That's gonna come up since we chose to play a female. We do not have the ability to vote, which becomes relevant later. Persecute Christians, and they do practice collective punishment. All are things that we have now said, hey, this ultimately isn't right in a society. So, we're going to go for slave ownership as the first one we're going to point out.
Of course. What else would we do with those prisoners of war who would otherwise have been executed? And besides, there are laws for their protection as well.
Or you just don't take prisoners of war. Like, also an option. Don't you people watch Bloodsport for entertainment?
On occasion. But our gladiators are almost all volunteers seeking glory, or condemned prisoners who would have been executed anyway. I do not see the harm.
Yeah, you should. You should. Because most people, if they have the opportunity, if they have the chance to make a comfortable, happy living, where they're not killing people or they're not risking their lives, they'll do it. So, if they're gladiators seeking glory, chances are they may not see another option. And condemned prisoners who would have been executed anyway, again, not okay. Because you break a law does not mean you deserve to die, as a general rule. Women have fewer rights than men.
Of course, but with fewer rights come fewer responsibilities, and the right to be protected by their fathers and husbands.
I hate this so much. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Oh, yep, we're not going to approach that one. If you view that and go, obviously, that's so reasonable, go talk to women.
You mean the blasphemous cult responsible for burning down half of Rome last year? It's hard to blame the people for being angry about that.
Yeah. Still, you don't kill people for fun.
Are you talking about our practice of decimation? Of course. We could hardly unite all these warring tribes without a disciplined, formidable legion.
I like that, like, from the start, we're able to be like, hey, this is problematic, you are not a perfect society. And he thinks he can defend all of these things. And he both delivers his answers in this very, like, cold, rational, like, obviously, this is just the way things work. And it's totally reasonable. And when other people that aren't you are losing rights, it's really easy to try to make up some of this logic and just be like, but they don't have as many responsibilities and they get protected. Wouldn't that be enough? Where I'm from, we consider those things to be important.
Well, right now, you're a long, long way from home. I have made my pronouncement on the subject. Unfortunately, there are still those here who resist, whispering blasphemous and treasonous lies in the shadows.
Let's go find
I
them.
would be keeping a close eye on them if I were you.
Sounds like that's what you're doing. Okay. What did you mean when you said that Proserpina sent me? Which I've actually never seen. I've seen Persephone. I've seen Proserpina, but I always thought that's how it was said, is Proserpina, not Proserpina. It's like, oh yeah, Persephone, Proserpina make a lot more sense, like how you'd get between those two words than Proserpina. So that was on me.
You see, in my search for a way to save my people, I learned of an ancient ritual to Proserpina, the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. It's said to open a doorway in time, so that if the unthinkable happens, one person can pass through it and travel back to the past. And when I saw you arrive in a flash of light from the goddess's shrine, I knew that person was you. You don't belong in our time, do you?
No. 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 Obviously not. I just told you where I'm from, we find you abhorrent. So, no, I'm from 2,000 years in the future.
2,000 years? That is unfathomable.
Yes.
Tell me, in your time, what did you see? What had become of us? Of this city?
Awkward turtle here, you'd all been turned into golden statues.
I have imagined it, our downfall, 1,000 times. But it still breaks my heart to hear the truth of it.
Okay, so, it's letting me know these questions will be available later, but we're going to run through them right now. So, a ritual to send me back. So, how does the ritual work?
All I can tell you is that it's a ritual sacrifice to Proserpina. I stumbled across instructions. I have to recite a prayer, and of course, as with all rituals, some sacrifice is involved. Usually that means wine or food, or in some cases a live animal. In this case, the sacrifice is rather more costly. The life of the person performing the ritual. I don't suppose you saw any sign of me in the future?
No! I did see human remains in the temple, so I know what your skull looks like.
I assume that was me.
Yeah, I think so.
If I'm forced to perform the ritual, it's going to cost me everything. You'll try to make sure I don't need to use it, won't you?
Yeah? I'll do my best.
Well, I suppose that's all I can ask for.
It's not a great... So, he's asking me to... Actually, we're going to start with this. How can we understand each other? I don't speak Latin.
You mean you couldn't speak Latin before you arrived here?
No.
How strange. But the gods are active here, and their temples and shrines hum with power like nowhere else in the Empire. Perhaps when Proserpina brought you here, she planted the seed of Latin in your mind so that you could better serve her.
Awesome. Perhaps.
An unbeliever, then? If you come up with a better explanation, I'll be interested to hear it.
I am 2,000 years in the past. I can see clearly I walked through a portal, so all of that. So he has asked us, hey, someone's going to break the golden rule. I know someone's going to break the golden rule. Figure out who it is and stop it before it happens. So, if you know this is going to happen, why aren't you taking care of it? Why aren't you investigating?
Well, I believe you're in the best position to go around asking people questions. You're new here, and it'll seem perfectly normal. As for me, well, it pains me to say my attempts to impose order have not earned me many friends.
Yep.
I fear I may not even remain magistrate after today's election. The people here would only treat my curiosity with suspicion. You shouldn't have that problem, though, unless, of course, you get off on the wrong foot.
Which I might have done by immediately being like, I'm not from this time! And so Galerius thinks I'm insane. So that's fun. Fair enough. So he knows someone's going to break it. Is there anybody that he thinks might do it? Do you have any suspects?
Do you ever stare at a problem for so long that you can't see it for what it is?
I am an accountant. Yes.
What's needed here
oh my
is
God,
a
yes.
fresh pair of eyes. The less I prejudice the independence of your investigation, the better.
Aw, that seems so wise. Alright, but I am going to ask, like, if he knows... How do we know he's not the dude? How do we know you're not responsible?
Why would you suspect me? I've just told you. I'm about to sacrifice my own life to ensure these people have a second chance. What reason could you possibly have to suspect me, of all people?
That's not an answer.
I'm glad you think so. Without trust,
No.
without each other, we won't be able to prevent what is about to happen.
It's not an answer. He just turned, he just grabbed the finger, pointed at him, and just like twisted it and was like, meh? Like, Alright, we're gonna go ahead with that though. Let's see. Actually, I want to know if I push him, if whether or not he'll tell me anything. Tell me what you really think.
Well, all right. There are those who wish to vote me out of office so that they can pursue their own misguided political agenda. Frankly, their selfishness and recklessness risk destabilizing the entire city. I would be looking very carefully at them if I were you.
So that's awkward, right? This guy that's in just with an immense amount of power that has made unpopular proclamations upon his people is like, hey, someone's gonna kill us all, and when I push him, he's just like, it's the people running against me for public office, for my power. Maybe they're totally bad. Maybe they're not. It's just a real awkward, it's an awkward thing. If I do this, will you help me get back to my own time? Because I don't want to live here.
If I understand Proserpina's ritual correctly, that problem should take care of itself. Let me see if I can explain. If you manage to prevent the sin that breaks the Golden Rule, I won't need to bring you here. I won't create the portal, and you will never have been able to come here. Thus, you'll have created a paradox. If this occurs, you should be flung back to your own time, having changed the past for all of us. Make sense?
Love it. Sure, why not? Okay, that's everything. So...
Oh, good. So, are you with me? Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the Golden Rule?
Yes. Let's do it. It also doesn't seem like I have much choice.
No, I don't suppose you do. But I'm hoping that even if you're not burdened with a sense of self-sacrifice, you'll at least see the sense in self-preservation.
Love it. Yeah, okay, good point. I'm here.
Wonderful. Now, I need you to investigate the city, talk to everyone, help them, if it will win their trust. I authorize you to enter private homes and inspect possessions and documents, unless, of course, you're asked to leave. Figure out who the culprit is, and as soon as you have a name, come back and tell me immediately.
I will get started.
Oh, and one last thing. If I were you, I'd start my investigation by visiting Lucretia at the Shrine of Apollo in the Forum. I heard wailing from there not long ago. Seems like something's not right.
I'll get right on it. Okay, so, just to his point, looking around, this is a very pretty place. Like, absolutely gorgeous. Oh, so nice. Okay, so he's got this nice big house. He's in power. He doesn't want to not be in power anymore. And I love that they actually answered the... Sorry, my mouse moves when I let go of it. I love that they actually answered the thing that happens in every video game where you just, like, rifle through people's stuff and you ignore it. And, like, people walk into their house and you're there and they're just like, okay. And they actually built into the game, I give you permission to do these things unless you're asked to leave. I appreciate that. That's clearly somebody that has paid... Or, excuse me, paid. Somebody that has played games before. Alright. A note from Scintilla. Scintilla to Sentius. May Jupiter, Optimus, Maximus continue to protect and guide you. Thank you for making me your daughter and for the lovely birthday pendant. I promise I will wear it always. I feel so safe and fortunate to have you as my father and Sentia as my sister. I sense you've been feeling apprehensive about the election next month, but if you can just show them the strong and dependable man I know you to be, you will be reelected. I'm sure of it. Alright, so, is there a next page? Okay, there is not. Let's leave it there. So, Sentius's daughter, Scintilla, likes him. He's got a nice little spot out here. And down we go. And I think this might be Scintilla. Stranger, let's meet you!
Ugh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want?
Who are you? What is your story?
I'm Sentia, eldest daughter of the magistrate. But you'd know that if you'd been invited in here and introduced properly. What are you doing in here? And why are you dressed like that?
Gah! She doesn't like me. I am not from around here.
Really? I'd never have noticed, what with your flawless accent, appropriate attire, and impressive mastery of our customs.
Obviously.
Now, remind me, why are we having this conversation?
Do you know a way out of here?
Ugh, what is it with you people? You heard the rumor that my little sister escaped and figure I must know a way out too. Is that it? Well, that's just a stupid rumor. We have no idea what happened to Scintilla. I wish you mouth breathers would just leave me alone.
Alright. Mouth breather. Long-running insult, apparently. We have highly valued the custom of breathing through your nose for a long time. Can I help?
I don't know. Can you? Can you tell me how a person could have disappeared from a city with no exits and no crime? Was she snatched away by the harpies?
I mean, maybe. I don't know what's around here. Yeah, we're gonna go through these. When did you last see her?
It was 3 weeks ago. We ate our evening meal together, and I remember she seemed happy. In love.
Aww.
We went into our rooms, I went to sleep, and when I woke up, she was gone. That's it.
Was she seeing someone?
I think so, yes. But she was very careful about keeping his identity a secret, even from me.
I see. Your father didn't mention any of this to me when I spoke to him. I would think, like, hey, find the person doing this crime versus find my daughter. Like, I would put, you know, while you're around and looking through everybody's stuff, also keep in mind, like, my daughter's missing. Not a parent, but a guess on how my dad would react. Your father didn't mention any of this. Any idea why?
That doesn't surprise me. To him, it was like a prize cow wandering off from its paddock.
Nope.
He's upset, of course, but he says he's too busy with the election to help look for her. So he's letting Horatius do the heavy lifting. Some good that's done.
Alright, I got multiple issues. Issue number 1. Prize cow wandering away from the paddock. How dare you talk about your sibling that way? I would never, ever talk about any of my siblings that way, and I am horrified that you would. You suck as a human being, clearly. And then, if I did go missing, doesn't matter what is going on in my father's life, nothing else would take priority over that. If he had a election coming up, or he had some major promotion or something like that, or major meeting at work, like, it would not matter. Every ounce of his day, of his focus, of his energy would be spent finding me, period. So, right now, I think this family super sucks. Family sucks, family sucks. Is it possible that her lover was involved?
I don't know. But it's been 3 weeks since she disappeared, and he hasn't come forward. That might speak to a guilty conscience. All I know is, whoever he is, he's still here in the city.
Unless he was... She was just reading some fanfic and fell in love there. Alright, so we've got Sentia, Scintilla, and Sentia. Why are your names so similar?
You really aren't from here, are you? All Roman women are named after their fathers. I think it's their way of branding us, like cattle to be sold at market. His family name is Sentius, so I'm Sentia because I'm the eldest, and my little sister is formerly Sentia Minor, but she is affectionately known as Scintilla.
I hate it. 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 You look surprisingly relaxed about your sister's disappearance. After 3 weeks... Okay, so my issue with that is, after 3 weeks, I can see there being an element of, like, in 3 weeks, I had to do laundry. I had to do dishes. I had to do, like, normal life things. And those kind of priorities push your fear, your panic, your all that kind of into the background because you do have to continue to maintain your space. So I don't think she's relaxed. I don't think she's going to be honest with me about her current feelings about her sister, given how hostile she is as a person, And the fact that we have no relationship beyond this conversation. But sure, you look surprisingly relaxed about your sister's disappearance.
I hope you're not insinuating I'm somehow pleased with her disappearance.
I don't know you. Are you?
Ugh, you're awful. Get out of my villa and never speak to me again.
Totally fair. Yep, fair. Fair and legit. I'm not leaving the villa, though. I'm gonna poke around a little bit.
On your best behavior, I trust?
Oh, obviously. I'm just pissing off the locals.
What now?
Who are you, Horatius?
I'm a legionary of the 1st Italica, but there's not a lot of fighting down here. So the magistrate has assigned me other duties. I act as the magistrate's right-hand man, keeping an eye on his daughter, I should say, and the others, and making sure they're all behaving.
Ugh.
I also keep a register of new arrivals.
Didn't like that. How did you end up here?
I'm from Liguria, up north originally. I was doing alright for myself. 12 years into my service. Had a nice girl lined up for when it was all over. Not anymore. She's probably figured I'm long gone and moved on by now. I try not to think about it. My commander sent me to deliver a message to Rome. While I was there, I thought I'd do something nice for my girl. And pick up a little pendant from a silversmith. That's when the crowd started flooding through the streets, shouting fire. People were screaming, trampling each other. Then some genetricum fugitive tried to take advantage of the chaos and pinch my pendant. I remember chasing him through the crowds, down towards the river. And then, nothing. Blacked out and woke up near here. No idea how I ended up floating so far downriver. But I'm fortunate to be alive, I suppose.
So the only thing about that I didn't like the I had a nice girl lined up. Like, I don't know that that's great. But sure. I'm really actually sorry that you ended up in that situation. I'm sorry to hear that.
Ah, don't be. As Seneca the Younger said, difficulty strengthens the mind, as labor does the body. That said, Centilla's disappearance has been more difficult than I'd care to admit.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like a terrible guy. Oh, are you sleeping with Scintilla? What can you tell me about the magistrate?
He's one of the better commanders I've ever had. That's for sure. Good stoic. Lives by Seneca's words. Treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Can't ask for much more than that.
That is pretty great. I've had bosses that didn't do that, and I've had bosses that did, and the ones that do treat me well, just the loyalty it engenders is insane. Do you know a way out of here?
I went around asking the same questions when I first arrived. Never did find a way out. But I learned how to accept my situation. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. That's from Seneca the Younger, if you're interested.
Horatius doesn't seem to suck. Can I see the citizen register?
I don't see why not. Just make sure I get it back by tomorrow.
Cool. Alright, we've got Aurelia, Claudia, Decius. I'm not going to go into all of these because we're going to meet these people eventually. Domitius, Dulius, Equitia, Fabia, Galerius, Georgius, Hannibal, Horatius, Kabash, Julia, Livia, Lucretia, Malleolus, that's a terrible name, Navia, Octavia, Rufius, Sentia, Scintilla, Sentius, Ulpius, Virgil. Okay, and Virgil. Got it. Cool. I'm gonna take that, thank you.
Of course.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
Well, as I always say, it's kind of like a divine version of the practice of decimation in the Legion. By threatening to execute 1 in 10 men, the idea is to ensure order and discipline among everyone. And it works.
Yeah.
If you knew you could be executed because your brother-in-arms is planning a mutiny, well, you'd bloody well watch him like 100-eyed Argus, wouldn't you? Because your only chance of saving yourself is to stop bad things before they happen. Makes us all responsible for keeping each other in check.
Yeah.
It's brutal, of course, but effective. The Legion wouldn't be the most formidable force in the world without it.
Yeah, but there's no There's no camaraderie in your teams. There's no safety. There's probably some... Okay, so when you're trying to do things quickly and easily, you yell, you threaten violence. Like violence, fear, things like that are very effective motivators of people for a short period of time. When you try to extend that, and it's very effective, like, it works. There's a reason parents yell at their kids. There's a reason that tyrants yell and use violence on their subjects, because it's very effective for a short period of time. But the longer that you use that, the less effective it becomes, because eventually people are like, there is nothing for which violence does not come at me, and that's not a place I want to live in. That's not a place I want my family, my kids, my etc. living in. And eventually everyone in the community will be touched, or everyone in your control group will be touched by the violence that you're enacting, and they will take that personally, and the hate and the sadness and the frustration and the distemper will build up to the point that they mutiny, they revolt. It happens. It's very normal. Yeah, and where I'm from, that would be considered collective punishment, which is a war crime.
War crime? Isn't that a contradiction in terms? As Cicero said,
Gah!
the law falls silent.
Yep, that is messed up. We're going with that.
Your sort wouldn't last a week in the Legion.
No, I wouldn't. I also wouldn't be allowed because I'm a dainty little female who couldn't handle it. So, are you saying you're in favor of decimation?
What's done is done. I was forced to execute my brothers in arms, and those memories will always visit me in my sleep.
Yeah.
But life is harsh, and I've come to accept my lot. As with the Golden Rule, I don't have any control over it, so railing against it would be like trying to stop the seasons or the tides. As Seneca the Younger wrote, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient. For he that is so wants nothing.
So there is, I mean, we all know there are religions everywhere that basically say, like, be thankful and grateful for what you have, because there's always more that you could lose. And when you get so distracted by staring at what you don't have, you aren't grateful, and at the end of the day, there are things that you will want that you will never get. Like, the day any of us die, there will be things that we never got. And we can focus on those things and lament those things in that moment, or we can focus and be grateful. It's a big perspective shift. We've all been told this by probably everybody in our entire lives. It doesn't make it any less difficult to actually enact that upon yourself and just focus on what you have and watch other people. I know some people who get really angry when those that are terrible succeed. And I'm with you. But it's also a horrendous use of my emotions and my energy that actually doesn't pay off at all. So it's a complicated... Horatius, you're hitting on some real hard parts about being human. Let's talk about something else.
If you like.
So, who are you gonna vote for, my dude?
Not that it's any of your business, but my loyalty is and always will be with Sentius. Unfortunately, I don't think my vote is going to make any difference today. See, Domitius has been going around town, shoring up votes for Malleolus with lies, bribery, and intimidation. The man's a savage, but he's a gladiator, so people fear and respect him more than they should. Sentius knows about it, of course, but he doesn't have the same rat cunning as Malleolus.
Yeesh.
This place will be different with that sleaze at the helm. But I try not to worry about things I can't change.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I appreciate the thought, but you're new here, and I just can't see how you could make an impact in the time between now and the election this afternoon. In any case,
Yeah, fair.
if you're interested in the election, go and have a chat with Equitia, the Vestal Priestess. She'll be overseeing proceedings.
I'm gonna go.
All right?
Okay, so this game, like some of the other ones that I've played, specifically Outer Wilds, it actually has a time limit. There's only so much that I can do before the election is called and things happen. So what I don't know is whether or not enough has happened that they're about to call that election. Oh, hello, produce bowl. Carrots are purple as they were before modern orange carrots were cultivated. That's something I do really love. As we go through this game, we're going to find little moments of things like this where they show food, but the food looks different. Even though, you know, it's a carrot, it's not an orange carrot because we cultivated that color on purpose. They're going to show us bread. They're going to show us various things that are reflective of how the world was at this time, so 2,000 years ago. And I think that's neat. I think it's fun. We learn more that way. It's no doubt unpleasant cooking with such poor ventilation, but Romans probably regarded that as their servants' problems. So it seems. Shovel. A Roman fire shovel made of bronze. It smells like ash. Neat. Cool. Not sure why we can inspect that one, but... Stove. Vial. A small vial containing a rudimentary perfume made from flowers and oil. Okay, so I must be in one of the girls' rooms, most likely. Bust. A sculpture of Ares, the Greek god of war, known to the Romans as Mars. Oh, a brass mirror. Brass has been polished to a rudimentary mirror, which is used for applying makeup. I don't know that brass would be the best kind of option, but it's what they got. Alright, Cyntia's journal. Dear Diary, today my father suggested I write a diary as a way of keeping myself occupied while we all deal with the sudden and devastating disappearance of my sister. As a dutiful daughter, of course, I shall oblige. The following pages contain my innermost secrets. I know you're reading this, Father! I may be young, but I do not think me stupid. We're all entitled to our secrets. Cynthia. Cool. So, I get the vibe that he's a bit of a helicopter parent. Ooh, yeah, let's search. Do I want to steal her money? No, I don't. Nope, that's not how I get away from it. That's right, I just moved the mouse away. But look at these, like, do you see the characters? It's neat. It's a pretty thing that they've made. Read a note from Scintilla. Scintilla to Cynthius and Cyntia, may Clementia give you the strength to forgive me. I am sorry to leave you this way, but I have found a way to escape, and I must take it. I hope we may meet again someday. So I took that, not sure why. Ink jar! Hey! Ceramic ink jar. The ink appears to be made from soot and water. I'll leave that behind. Stop standing on stuff. We've already seen the brass mirror and the vial. All the vials say the same thing. Ooh, hey, hang on. Cosmetic jar. Yeah! A brass jar containing some sort of powder for makeup. Go ahead and leave that behind. And Scintilla's chest. Just some money, which we're not gonna... Dang it, did it again. Which we're not gonna get. So, let's head on... Because I think... Oh yeah, I can just go around? I can go to this store instead? Okay, well that's convenient. Are you something I can pick up? You are not. They've got a person that looks a lot like Aloy as a golden statue in their courtyard. Uncomfortable. I think I'm stuck on a tree branch. So, right now, we've met the magistrate, we've been told about what the golden rule is, and we've been asked to go and meet up with a priestess and find out who's going to break this problem, or who's going to break the golden rule and get everyone killed. But we don't know yet. We don't know if the golden rule is even real. We don't particularly care. We don't know what's going on with his missing daughter or why he seems more focused on an election than resolving that problem. So, with that in mind, I'm going to leave the episode here, and we will pick back up with the whole hope of resolving the answers to those questions and things like that the next time on the next episode of Dead Funny University, or not University, Lost Forgotten City. There we go. Forgotten City, Dead Funny. You know what's going on. There'll be links and descriptions and all that jazz. Let me know if you enjoy this, because if you guys really don't want to see me play this game, you don't have to. But I like it, and I want to show it to you, so I kind of want you to see it. So, let me know what you think in the comments below, and we will see you in the next class. Bye, friends!